Hi, I'm Cleo. I'm a longtime tutor and a test prep expert here with study.com. So today we're going to be talking about the Praxis exam 5511, which is fundamental subjects. And specifically, we're going to focus on math and the subtopic of number sense and basic algebra. So we have 4 practice problems for you to work on those skills. And we're going to dive in now. All right, here we go. For problem 1 here, it says a food packaging company sent out 2 employees to 2 different locations to record the temperature of their freezers. Each employee traveled to their locations, recorded the temperature, and then reported back to the company. The 2 temperatures in Fahrenheit are graphed on the number line given below. Based on this graph, what were the 2 temperatures recorded? Okay, so we have a graph here, a number line that looks like it goes from, negative infinity to infinity, but we can basically just see negative 30 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And if we check where the markings are, we have one here and one here. It looks like the tick marks are going up by 5, right? Because 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. So that means this would be negative 5. And this would be 5 above 10. That would be 15. So it looks like we're going between negative 5 and 15. That would be this one. For problem 2, it says compute 2/3 times 3/7. Express your answer as reduced fraction. So the first thing to notice here is if we're multiplying these fractions, the 3 on the bottom and the 3 on the top would cancel. So we'd just be left with 2/7. So that's going to be our answer choice, but I will write it out to demonstrate. 2/3 times 3/7. Okay, the 3's cancel, doot, doot, and we're left with equals 2/7, right? But if we didn't notice the 3's could cancel, that would be all right. Say we just multiplied it out as the fractions, we'd multiply on top and multiply on the bottom. So 2 times 3 would give us 6 on top, and 3 times 7 would give us 21 on the bottom. But then we'd be left with that fraction and needing to reduce it. So we'd say, okay, is there anything that both 6 and 21 can be divided by? And we can divide them both by 3, right? So 6 divided by 3 would give us 2 on top, and 21 divided by 3 would give us 7 on the bottom. So again, either way, our answer choice here is 2/7. Okay, nice. So for problem 3, we have a function problem, and it says f of x equals negative 1.25x squared plus 3.2x plus 2. Then we have a graph. It looks like a parabolic function, right? A parabola that's upside down in this case. And it says a toy cannon can launch a small cannonball at a certain angle. The cannon is fired multiple times with the same settings, and the model above is generated. The x-axis is the number of is the time. Sorry, the cannon is in the air, while the y-axis describes the elevation of the cannonball at any time x. So x is the time, y or f of x is the height. Okay. If the cannon is 2 feet above the ground, after how many seconds, rounded off to the nearest tenth, will the cannonball be at the same height as the cannon? All right, so this is asking us to get a sense of what's going on and then solve for a certain height. So what's happening? We have a cannon that's launching a cannonball into the air. It's rising, and then falling over time, right? And it says that the cannon starts at 2 feet. The cannon is 2 feet above the ground, so that makes sense that the cannonball starts at 0 seconds at 2 feet because that's the height of the cannon. So they're saying after how many seconds will the cannonball return to the same height as the cannon? So when does the cannonball's trajectory bring it back to 2 feet? Right there, right? So looking at that, it seems like that 2 feet on the y is happening right here on the x. That's like a little more than halfway between 2 and 3. So eyeballing it, I would guess 2.6 seconds just as an instinct. But of course, we should check it because these numbers are pretty close together, right? So we should solve it algebraically. So in order to do that, we're going to take this function and we're going to set it equal to 2 on the left because we're looking for a height of 2 feet. So 2 equals, okay, negative 1.25 x squared sorry, this formatting, plus 3.2x plus 2. Okay. Now we can see we have 2 on both sides. So if we subtract 2 from the right and the left, that 2 is basically going to go away. So that's now going to be set equal to 0. And I'd like to make this 1.25x squared positive just because it's a little easier for my brain to work with. So I'm going to move the terms over to the left-hand side and then set it all equal to 0. So that's going to be, okay, 1.25x squared plus, oh, I'm sorry, now minus, because I'm bringing it over to the left, minus 3.2x equals 0. So that makes sense, hopefully, because remember, it's 0 equals these numbers on the right, and then we're bringing them over to the left just to make this positive because it's a little easier to work with. So 1.25x squared minus 3.2x, because I brought it over, equals 0. Okay, now what do we do? Well, we can factor this on the left, so I'm going to factor out an x. We'll get a 1.25x minus 3.2 equals 0 now. Okay, so what that means is either x equals 0, which is true because at x equals 0, y is 2, but we already knew that because it was the starting place, or this equals 0. So 1.25x minus 3.2x equals 0, right? So 1.25x minus 3.2 equals 0. Okay, so then in order to solve for x and try to isolate the variable, get it alone, the first thing I'm going to do is add 3.2 back over. So now 1.25x equals 3.2. Okay, and now I'm going to divide both sides by 1.25 to get our answer. So x equals, remember you have a calculator here, so I will on my end use a calculator because I'm not going to do that in my head. 3.2 divided by 1.25. Well, 3.2 divided by 1.25 equals 2.56. Okay, 2.56. Now, if we're rounding to the nearest tenth, tenth is this place here, right? So the 5 is either going to round up or round down. 6 is greater than 5. We go one place to the right. 6 is greater than 5. So that means we're going to round up. So 2.56 will round up to 2.6. So our answer is going to be this one, 2.6 seconds. And that we can circle 2.6 seconds. Excellent work. Problem 4 here. It says the state tax rate for Oregon follows a progressive tax system. For an annual income below $18,400, the tax rate is 6.75%. For those earning $18,400 to below $250,000, the tax rate is 8.75%. Income of $250,000 and above has a tax rate of 9.9%. How much tax will a person earning $200,000 a year pay? So 200,000 falls into that middle bracket, right? Between 18,400 to 250,000. It's in there. So for that amount, the tax rate is 8.75%, of the income. So what we want to find, this is a percent problem, we want to find 8.75% of 200,000. So in order to do that, let's bring a little equation in here. Okay, 8.75%. In order to do that, I'm going to write that as a decimal, 0.0875, right? Because a decimal, if we multiply that by 100, that's one place, two places, moving the decimal to the right, that's 8.75. So as a decimal, 8.75 is 0.0875, right? So that times 200,000. And then remember, you can do that on your calculator. So I'm going to do that over here. All right, and I get 17,500. So 17,500 is our answer, and we can find that over here, $17,500. So I hope that makes sense. Just remember, the trick is thinking about 8.75% as a decimal, 0.0875, because it's 8.75 divided by 100, right? Percent is divided by 100. So 0.0875 times 200,000 will give us, again, 17,500. Okay. that about wraps it up. Hi, thanks so much for doing those practice problems with me. I hope they were helpful. So now if you'd like to check out some more content to review for the Praxis exam, we have a bunch more videos here, as you can see, or if you want to make your way over to study.com, you'll see a lot more material. As a member there, you'll have access to hundreds of sample problems like the ones that we just did together, as well as targeted instruction based on specific topics you might want to review, and strategy to help you boost your score on test day. So please let us know if you find the video helpful. You can go ahead and like and subscribe and drop us a comment. Let us know if there are things that you want to work on that you haven't seen videos on yet, if there are things you'd like us to cover, because we'd really like to hear your thoughts. All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in. And in the meantime, good luck studying.